Hello there again, Des Kelly here from GMIT Letterfrack, and welcome along to another of our DCG SolidWorks tutorials. Before we begin, if you'd like more information on the degree programs we offer in furniture design, wood technology or teacher education, then please see our Facebook or Twitter pages. So in this tutorial I'm going to run you through the Freeform feature primarily. Now the blender handle itself here isn't overly realistic, it's just a request I had from a teacher to generate the exact shape at the top of the blender handle. This is a pretty common type of handheld blender, and a lot of them can be drawn with a revolve feature, which is pretty simple, but some of them don't have rotational symmetry, so it cannot be drawn with that feature. And in this case I think we should use the Freeform feature to get this little molded indentation there. So in this we will also be working through some basic stuff like sketching, extruded boss bases, extruded cuts. We'll also split a solid, use a dome feature to get the curvature on the top, use a freeform feature to mold the main shape of the handle, and we'll use a projected curve to put this black grip on the back of it. We'll also apply a flex feature just to show you what it does, but it actually hasn't been applied in this image. So let's begin. Now moving over to SolidWorks, I'm going to begin with just a quick demonstration to explain what the Freeform feature does. So by creating a simple solid like that, I can go to Insert, Features, Freeform, select any face I wish, add a curve or curves to the surface, add points to that curve, and then simply drag those points up or down to deform or mold the surface into the shape I want. So that's just a quick demonstration of what the feature does. I will delete that and begin again. So this time I'm going to sketch a circle on the top plane and extrude that into a cylinder. I'm not going to give precise dimensions because it's more the concept I'm interested in this time rather than the actual artifact. So I'll generate a cylinder with approximately those proportions. Now on this plane I'm going to draw a sketch just to cut a 25-degree taper from the top of the handle. Dimension those two lines to be 25 degrees and apply an extruded cut. Let's set that to be mid-plane, and now I have a nice bevel at the top of the handle. So it will not be possible for me to freeform or mold that blue surface in the same way as I did it a moment ago, because that surface is infinite. It's got no edges, it just goes round and around. So to do that, I must use the right plane in this case as a tool to split that solid in two. So if I go to Insert, Features, Split, and select Cut Part, then confirm the two solids by clicking them and press the green tick. I now have this solid with that face, which certainly isn't infinite. It has a definite edge to the left and to the right. So call up the Freeform feature, Insert, Features, Freeform, select the face I wish to deform, and I want to add curves, or one curve in this case, but I want to add it perfectly on the apex or the extremity of that curved surface. So to do so, I'll activate the Direction 1 Symmetry option, which will mean when I then select Add Curves, as I move along it will snap to that point. So that point is going to be, or that line rather, is going to be exactly where I want it. So click there. And it will of course allow me to add more curves, but I'm happy with the one for now. So I will then move over and select Add Points. And I'm just going to add a few points, maybe one there, and one there. When you're happy that you've got enough points added, simply tap, and sorry, I actually made a mistake there, so I'll just undo that. I added the points here. So let's add the points more carefully to this curve. So add a point there, and one there. As I said, when you're happy that the points are in the right location, tap Escape once, then simply drag the points. Now it looks as if I'm dragging those randomly, but as I move those, look in the bottom right hand corner of the screen. The XYZ coordinates are given, so I can precisely move those in and out if I wish. These 4 handles that appear will also allow me to select how this curvature transitions into the adjoining face. So if I wanted, I could change this to tangent, and it would actually transition tangentially into its neighbour, which is what I want. I also want this one to transition tangentially. It's already picked up that, and I'm happy with that for now. If you wanted, you could have used a sketch picture to drag those points precisely in alignment with the sketch picture, but for now, as I said, I'm happy with that. So I don't want a handle generated in 2 different pieces. I now have 2 separate bodies, so I will join those 2 back together. Insert, Features, Combine. Make sure I set the operation type to Add. Then simply select the 2 solids and press the green tick. That's now 1 solid. So I will use the dome feature to pop out this top portion of the handle. So go to Insert, Features, Dome. Here we go. Select the top face, and you may have to deselect Continuous Dome and simply add a bit of height to that. And select Continuous Dome again. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't actually give you the proper preview until you turn that on or off or make a change over here. In this case, I needed to make the change. So 40 looks okay, and press the green tick, and we're all set. So like I said, I've not used dimensions there, and if I just turn off the hidden lines or the shaded edges for a moment, it looks pretty good. But it would look a lot better if I were working from dimensions, but that would slow me down a lot. So one other thing I will do is I will create a new plane, a reference geometry plane, make it parallel to the right plane in my case, and position it off the back somewhere like that, just so it's not touching the solid. Start a sketch of a slot on that plane, look 90 degrees to it, and position the slot somewhere like that. As you can see, that sketch is away from the solid itself, but that's what I want. I'll now right click the plane and hide it, and I want to project that sketch onto the curvature. So let's see if we can do that. Insert, Curve, Projected. It's looking for the sketch first of all. The sketch to project is sketch 4 in my case, and the projection faces are that face and that face. Press the green tick. I now have that sketch projected onto the handle. So I'm going to right click and hide that sketch for a moment. I don't need that anymore. I seem to have missed. There we go. And if I want to thicken this or expand this out a little, what I can do is this. If you do not have your Surfaces tab, right click any of the other tabs and make sure it's active. Click the Surfaces tab, then Knit Surface, and that surface need to be knit together for now. So click the 2 of them and press the green tick to approve. I now have a new folder up here called Surface Bodies. If I select the only surface body I have, I can see it's a few different faces, but I just want this little slot shape to be the surface. So using the Trim Surface tool, select the Trim tool as being this curve, and then select Keep Selections, and then simply select this portion of the surface and press the green tick. Now that surface trim only exists within the boundary that I've just set. So what I can do then is either do a thicken or a thickened cut feature to either indent that or emboss it out a little. So I will bring it out a little. So click thicken. Let's set, first of all, click the surface obviously, but let's set the value to be a millimeter and not mid-plane, but just out. So if I approve that, what you should see is that has been thickened. The line still stays there. I need to actually right-click that curve and hide it. But if I turn back on the edges, you should see that that solid has now made its way out. So the last thing I will do, just sometimes these are a little bit more organic or curved, so what you can do is flex them a little. So if I go to Insert, Features and Flex, I can click the solid. Now it's very rare that this red axle or axis appears in the right location, but you can actually rotate it. That red line is going to be the line around which I want to bend or flex or twist this solid. So I'm going to rotate it, not by eye either. I'm going to notice that in the bottom over here, as I click this orange ring and rotate it, it tends to give me very precise feedback over here. In my case, I want to change and rotate around the Z. I will set that to 270 degrees. And then when I do that, I should be able to pick either the red or the green plane by its edge and just apply a small flex like that. Now the main disadvantage with using the flex feature is that if you're flexing a solid such as this, which is quite complex in itself with the Freeform feature, it does take a long time to rebuild when you press that green tick. So I've not taken the time to wait for it to apply here. I'm just working on this as a concept for a teacher, but the flex feature is a very good way of getting those advanced curved organic looking shapes. Just give it the time to render and it will actually work for you. So thanks for watching. If you want more information, as always, please visit the GMIT Letterfrack YouTube channel for a whole load of other videos, and I look forward to talking to you then.